Greetings and salutations and welcome to Colin Was Right. Well, sort of. This isn't a proper episode of the show per se, but rather a prologue designed to let you know what the show is all about, how it'll look and feel, what inspired it, and perhaps most importantly, what kind of topics the show will cover and how you, the viewer, will help dictate its course. Back in May, right here in San Francisco, we introduced Colin Was Right to the audience in the form of a quick and dirty video that merely announced its existence, but did little else. That's because even internally, we were still figuring out pretty much everything else, from delivery and writing to graphics packages and flow. We finally answered those questions, and so today I want to give you a small glimpse into the final product and discuss how the show came to be, how we see the show rolling out in the present, and where we assume the show will end up in the future. We want Colin Was Right to be a weekly glimpse into something gaming related. That's pretty much our only hard and fast rule. Sure, we want the show to be informative, thought-provoking, and maybe even a little bit silly at times, but we also want the show to be somewhat unpredictable when it comes to topics and tone. One week I may celebrate my love of the NES. The week after, perhaps the publisher did a shitty thing and I'll take them to task. And then the week after, maybe I'll mosey on over to why I think mobile gaming is a plague, before talking about how much I love Game X the week after. I want Colin Was Right to be an honest reflection of my thoughts, and those thoughts will be good and bad, positive and negative, mirroring exactly what I've been writing and podcasting about as an industry professional for a decade plus. From a branding standpoint, don't take the name Colin Was Right too seriously. It's a doofy, pseudo-arrogant joke born from our podcast over the years, and it's not meant to be taken literally. I'm outright wrong sometimes, and I'm also pleased to be someone who changes my mind and forms new arguments as fresh, compelling, and interesting evidence makes itself known. And while I don't want to blow your mind too significantly, I'm about to. There are even going to be times when you and I disagree, where I say something you simply can't get on board with. That's okay too. I would never do a show designed to coddle you or never challenge you. How would that be useful? Where's the fun in that? Colin Was Right has what I would consider 4 major inspirations, 2 of them in the gaming industry and 2 of them outside of it. I'd be loath not to mention my pal Jim Sterling and his, well, Sterling YouTube show, the JIMQUISITION. I'm a YouTuber by definition, but barely so, and certainly not when it comes to the content I like. I don't watch much else here on YouTube, nor do I really dig consuming Let's Plays or gaming podcasts, but Jim Sterling's amazing commentary on the JIMQUISITION is a weekly exception to the rule for me. He's bombastic but fair. He's brutal but smart. The JIMQUISITION is a touchstone for me when it comes to Colin Was Right, and Jim himself, while we disagree on a great number of things, is an inspiration for me when it comes to intelligent commentary and dry wit. I'm proud to call him a friend, and I hope he enjoys this show even half as much as I enjoy his. The other gaming-centric personality that inspires me is seasoned industry veteran Jeremy Parish, who I consider to be the single smartest, most informed, most educational member of the games media. Jeremy takes a different tack than Jim, prioritizing his raw knowledge and keen intellect into something more akin to a documentary than a think piece. As it turns out, his YouTube shows Game Boy World and Good Intentions are criminally underviewed and underappreciated, but they're neither underviewed or underappreciated by me. I like what he does and how he does it, and his buttoned-up approach makes for the perfect balance to what Jim does. Peppering the inspiration I receive from these 2 gentlemen with what I already do just makes a ton of sense to me, and I thank them for their hard work and continued contributions to our field. Outside of games, I have to point to 2 shows in particular. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver and Real Time with Bill Maher, as landmarks that helped us not only craft a look for Colin Was Right, but to tonally develop the most essential component of our show, the script. Like with Jim, I don't agree with much of what John Oliver and Bill Maher say, but like Jim, I respect the shit out of them regardless. Oliver and Maher are their own men who don't fit as neatly into an ideological box as some would assume. When I do agree with something they say, I'm never that surprised because their approach is inherently subjective, and they never pretend otherwise. They aren't necessarily aiming for consistency, and they don't seem to give a flying fuck who they please and who they offend. They're just trying to tell you how they feel. I watch Oliver and Maher almost every week in some capacity because I like hearing what they have to say and I love to be challenged. And I hope that many of you end up feeling the same way about this show. There's a final component I want to touch on, and that component is you. All of you out there who will watch this show, who will hopefully like it and share it and help it grow. I want you to feel free to leave comments on YouTube with your thoughts on the subjects at hand. If you have something more long form to say, maybe even head on to the Kinda Funny forums and sound off. As always, you can tweet at me and let me know how much you love or hate me and the things I say. Such has been my reality for many years. But I also want you to tell me what you'd like me to cover. Write your ideas in the comments and thumb up other folks' input that resonates with you. Let's make Colin Was Right a 2-way street, where it's not just me speaking to or at you, but it's all of us speaking with one another. Hell, maybe I'll even do a little interstitial answer the comments episode one day. But at the very least, I'd love to delve into the topics you want to hear about, and not only talk about what I feel is important, relevant, or fun. Just remember that I have my preferences and areas of expertise, and there are limits to my knowledge and interests. So don't expect me to delve into MOBAs, building your own PC, or esports anytime soon. Let me close with this. I've been blessed to be a paid professional in the gaming industry since I was 18 years old, and in a completely full-time capacity since I graduated college at age 22. I'm in my early 30s now. It's been a true honor to be able to do this for so long. Candidly, I've never quite understood my own popularity as a quote-unquote personality, nor have I quite grasped why so many people love hearing what I have to say. But to say that my audience has been kind, gracious, and accepting of me is an understatement. Colin Was Right is a culmination not of what I've done, but of what all of you have allowed me to do. I thank you from the bottom of my heart that a product like this could even exist, and maybe even thrive, and I hope I don't let you down. I really do believe you're going to like the show, or I wouldn't be doing it. Look for new episodes of Colin Was Right each Thursday, right here on youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Oh, hello. I didn't see you come in. Well, what did you think? As promised at Kinda Funny Live 2, Colin Was Right is in production and is, as I sit here reading this on a teleprompter, right around the corner. Indeed, episodes will begin going out in January of 2017. But if you support us at the $1 level on patreon.com/kindafunnygames, not only will you get an exclusive episode of the Kinda Funny Games cast for the month of December, as well as access to the entire backlog of exclusive episodes already posted, but you'll also gain access to 3 special pilot episodes of Colin Was Right released throughout the month. There's even a Colin Was Right shirt you can buy right this minute if you want to further support the show at kindafunny.com/store. It is very stylish. Earlier in the fall, I sat down and wrote 4 episodes of the show to begin a production trial run, so we could figure out how the show would look and feel, and how the editing process would go, as I've been thrown into the deep end when it comes to Adobe Premiere. I then sat in the studio and recorded those episodes, and have since been toiling away on their edits. Supporting us at the $1 level will, through the month of December, gain you access to the 3 other episodes we shot. I worked hard on these episodes, as did Nick and Tim with their graphics packages, technical know-how, and endless rounds of notes. We want you to watch them and then provide feedback for us at your leisure by posting in the YouTube comments. What did you like? What didn't you like? What would you like to see us keep or change as we move into a regular production schedule at the beginning of the new year? Your feedback isn't only important, it's actually essential, so I hope you'll take us up on this. These episodes are little capsules in time. They were written to be evergreen, but there are a few quirks in there. Things have changed in recent months and on and on. But they're glimpses into what we think the show should ultimately be. They represent the tenor and tone of the show as we see it. But Colin Was Right's success will rely on all of you, and so we hope you subscribe, watch, and give us feedback so we can best tailor the product to all of you out there. Thank you for your time, and happy holidays to you and yours.